do this.
Hey guys, welcome back to my booktube channel. Long time no see. So since I have last filmed a video, I am in a new place because we moved to Denver, Colorado. But if you want to see the moving vlog and the apartment tour that is up on my vlog channel, I will link my channel and those two videos in the description below, so feel free to check those out. Today's video is super exciting because I have a miniature book haul coming for you guys. I have 5 new books that I am so excited to be sharing with you. One of them is a reread that I've read so many times from the library but have never owned, so I finally have that. And the 4 others I have never heard before and I'm super excited to start reading because they're all so different. I'm just so excited. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So usually when I order books, I try not to buy brand new books from like Barnes & Noble or something, because for me, I just love getting sales and like $24, $25 for a hardcover.
Really?
So as you guys know, usually I will get a bunch of books for a really cheap price off of thrift books, and normally that is what I do, but I found this new bookstore actually right across from the mall called Second and Charles. So these are the books that I got from there, and seriously so cheap. So if you're ever in Denver, Colorado and you are looking for a bookstore, I would seriously suggest Second and Charles, because not only are there books, there are CDs and movies and magazines and all kinds of things. It's like a Hastings, if you guys remember that store.
Seriously, it's amazing.
So let's go ahead and dive right in. Alright, so the first book is a book by Rachel Hawthorne, and I love this author. The other book I read from her is called Labor of Love, which I absolutely loved. I loved it so much that I actually wanted to give it to a friend before I left, because I unhauled a bunch of books because I don't have a whole lot of space. That's my shelf here, and then the rest of the books are on there, and the other books are in a box in storage, but I think I unhauled 20 books, something like that. And one of those I gave to my friend, and it was by Rachel Hawthorne, and that was Labor of Love. So I have a bunch of her books on my TBR, and this definitely was one of them. It's called Island Girls and Boys. Just 3 girls and 3 dogs, 2 boyfriends and 1 true love. So for this book, I paid $1.95. Legit. I legit paid that. So I'm super excited to read this. I actually don't know anything about it because, as we mentioned, with Rachel Hawthorne books, or any books usually of this size, there is not a summary. This is like all I get regarding it, which doesn't really have anything to do. Of course I could Google it, but where's the fun in that, you know? I'm just gonna go into a blind. Let's do this. But anyway, I'm super excited to be reading this. I kind of wish I had this right before I went on the cruise that I took with my mom and sister, just to get me in the island mood, but that's okay. I have it now, so when I think of it, when I read it, I can think of the cruise. It's a win-win. Also, if you want to see the vlog I did of the cruise, that's also my vlog channel, so that link will be in the description too. The next book I am really excited to read, Dreamology. So this is what I paid for it, $2.50. I mean, if you shop on thrift books like I do religiously, you would know that the cheapest book starts at $3. I mean, $1.95, $2.50, what? So this is what this story is about. Love is a dream. Then you wake up. For as long as Alice can remember, she has dreamed of Max. Max is the boy of her dreams, and only her dreams. Until the morning she finds him sitting next to her in class, very much alive. As Alice and Max get to know each other all over again, Alice learns that real Max is nothing like Dream Max. He's complicated and stubborn and has a whole life Alice isn't a part of. When their dreams start interfering with their waking hours, Alice and Max have to find a way to make them stop. But when you fall in love in your dreams, can reality ever be enough? Does that sound interesting or what? I am really excited to read this. Plus I think the cover is really cool. Like on one side she's asleep and on the other she's awake. I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I think that's really cool. So the next book is called Coffee House Angel by Suzanne Selfords. So again, this is what I paid for it. Amazing. And this is what it's about. When Katrina spots a homeless guy sleeping in the alley behind her grandmother's coffee shop, she decides to leave him a cup of coffee, a bag of chocolate-covered coffee beans, heaven, and some pastries to tide him over. Little does she know that this random act of kindness is about to turn her life upside down. The adorable Vagrant is actually a real-life guardian angel on a break between missions, and he simply won't go away until he can reward Katrina's selflessness.
This sounds amazing.
So going along with the guardian angel theme, I bought Unearthly. So I don't know, I think I've talked about this book, this trilogy, a few times on my channel, but I absolutely love this. It's Unearthly. It's by Cynthia Hand. It is a trilogy. I think there's even a novella called Radiant that goes in between this one and the second one, I think. Anyway, I absolutely love this book. I have reread this trilogy. I don't even know. I've read it so many times. I think I read like all 3 books twice last year or twice the year before. This will be my 2nd time this year. So I love this series and I cannot get enough of it. So I have always rented it from the library, and then we go to the store and it's right there. I was like, you know what? It's a sign. So I got it. Again, priced here. Unfortunately, this is the only one they had. They didn't have the 2nd, 3rd, or the novella, which is okay. I'll get through this and then see if I can order it and have it shipped. But this is what it's about if you don't know. When Clara Gardner learns that she's part angel, her entire life changes. Now she has a purpose, a specific task she was put on this earth to accomplish, except she doesn't know what it is. Her visions of a raging forest fire and mysterious boy lead her to a new high school and a new town, but provide no clear instruction. As Clara tries to find her way in a world she no longer understands, she encounters unseen dangers and choices she never thought she'd have to make between the boy of her vision and the boy in her life. Between honesty and deceit, love and duty, good and evil, when she finds the fire from her vision finally ignites, will Clara be ready to face her destiny? Hallelujah. So, I mean, this series is fantastic. I love it. I also love how it's iridescent. I love fancy cover things. This whole trilogy is so good. Like I said, I've read it so many times and I love the whole part angel thing. I absolutely love it. So if you're looking for a good angel book, I seriously suggest this, because this whole series is filled with so many plot twists and turns and things going in different directions you didn't know would go, and romance and action and adventure, and I absolutely love it. So if you've not read this, you really should. Okay, and my last book again is one that I had never heard of, and I never even heard of the author, but it's called Brave Enough by Katie Gardner. So this is what I paid for it, and this is what it is about. Teenager Kaysen Martin is the youngest ballerina at the Atlanta Ballet Conservatory. She never really had a choice on whether she learned to dance or not. Her mother, the conservatory's artistic director, has made all the decisions in Kaysen's life. But that's about to change. Kaysen has been hiding an injury, and it's much worse than anyone imagines. Davis Channing understands all too well what it's like to give up control of your life. He survived cancer, but his drug addiction nearly killed him. Now he's been sober for 7 months and enjoying his community service at the hospital. But just when he thinks he's got it together, Davis's ex-girlfriend, who is still battling her addiction, barrels back into his life. Kaysen and Davis are not friends, but as their worlds collide, they will start to depend on one another. Can they both be brave enough to beat the odds? So this sounds amazing and deep, and I love anything that has to do with ballet specifically, and dance and cancer stories. I am so excited to read this, especially when it blends the two. So like I said, I don't know anything about it really, because I've never heard of it before or the author, but I'm so excited to get into this. I will be letting you guys know on my Instagram stories what I think of all of these books as I go through and read them throughout the next 2 weeks. Also, with Unearthly, I got it 2 days ago, and I'm pretty much almost finished with it because it's just so good. So, moving on, I wanted to give you guys a little insight of what I do when I read, because I actually really love to tab my books, and so I wanted to share with you guys the order that I do and what each color means. So just to maybe give you an idea on what you like to do if you would like to annotate your books. Okay, so in whatever book I'm currently reading, I will take Unearthly here for example. I will use my sticky note tabs and this piece of paper, which is like my key for what each color means, actually as a bookmark because it's rather thin. So just another little tip there if you're not into the whole doggy earring pages thing. So this one here has blue, green, yellow, purple, and pink. So if I find something that is funny, or a joke I thought was hilarious, or a whole scene I thought was funny and that made me laugh out loud, I will do yellow. Let me give you an example. Okay, so for example, I'm going to go into Unearthly into page 36 where I added a yellow tab. So it says, my hair turns out orange, like a peeled carrot. The moment I see it, I seriously consider shaving my head. I don't know why, but the rest of that paragraph, I just thought it was really funny, so I added a yellow tab. So then anything that's romantic or sweet or just cute or anything that makes me swoon, of course, I will add a pink tab. So let me give an example for what pink says. Okay, so I'm going back into Unearthly again, into page 340. I'm not going to spoil anything, so I'm going to say blah blah for who she is talking about. And why is that? Easy. It's all me. The human part, the angel part. I love blah blah blah. Talk about a revelation. Anyway, I just thought that was really awesome because that's when she actually like admitted that she had feelings for someone she didn't expect to have feelings for. So yeah, pink tab. Example. Check. So if there's something that I find like really sad or poetic, I will add a blue tab. Example. So far I don't have a whole lot of blue tabs in this book, which is pretty good. Let's see. Okay, so for example of the blue tab, I'm going to page 262, and her and Christian Prescott are talking about their families. So oh, come on, you get to have an adventure in the Big Apple. My dad lives in New York, you know, but I've only been there once. He had to work the whole time, so I sat on the couch and watched TV for a week. Your dad? You never mentioned him before. Yeah, well, there's not much to tell. He shrugs. Same thing with my dad, which is a touchy subject, I can tell. But I thought that was kind of sad, so I added a blue tab. So for something I think which is like a nice use of words, or I think that is smart or clever, I will use a green tab. Example of a green tab. Okay. So going to page 57, right at the top where I had added a green tab, it says, I'm pretty sure I'm already on Kay Patterson's bad side. I could tell by the way she kept her voice light. Friendly, but beneath it was an undercurrent of contempt. I don't know why, but I thought that was so like eloquently spoken. I really liked the way Cynthia Hand worded that, so I added a green tab. Last but not least, for purple. The purple tab means something I find like hashtag relatable or goals. So there are quite a few purple tabs in here. Let's see a good example of one. To page 138. She laughs. She turns toward me and pulls her legs up and sits Indian style. So close her knees brush mine. We're going to be best friends, she says. And I believe her. I want that. That's so nice. That is how I use my tabs to annotate my books. Super duper simple. I find something that I like that goes with one of these categories and I'll put a tab there. I'm also one of those people who don't care if I write in my books or not. I will get a pen or pencil. My latest craze are erasable pens. Seriously guys, you need to try them. They are amazing, especially if you're going to write in something as precious as a book. And so I will write in there, add a note, underline something, highlight something, add my tabs. I go all out, and let me give you an example. The Fault in Our Stars. I went crazy annotating this thing. Like, what the heck? So not only did I go crazy with my tabs, I highlighted stuff in here. I made notes. Like, I made notes, I underlined things. Like, I went hardcore the first time I read this because you're never gonna read a book for the first time twice. So I wanted to capture all of my feelings and emotions and write them all down in here so that the next time I could read it, I remember exactly what I felt in that moment when I was reading it for the first time. I don't know, I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, this is the first book that I ever decided to use tabs with or write in or underline things. So this one is definitely pretty special. So since I've been doing that, I have done a bunch of books with the tabs. I don't always go crazy with highlighting and underlining and taking notes inside the book, but with every book I read, I try to do my tab system. So just want to share that with you guys, a little tip on how I annotate my books, because that is what I'm currently doing with Unearth. So anyway, these were the books I bought. My mini book haul, 5 books. I'm thankful for them. I love them. I'm so excited to read all of them. So I'll keep you guys updated. Make sure to follow me on Instagram because that's where the party happens. I know I'm not on YouTube a whole lot, especially on this channel, but I do a lot on Instagram. I'm posting stories almost daily and I make posts frequently. Just putting it out there. Also, don't forget to follow my vlog channel. That link will be in the description along with all the other videos I mentioned in this video. A lot happens there, more daily life things, anything that has to do with Young Living, especially the Savvy Minerals makeup line. So I vlog all of that, give tips and tricks videos, which I call Savvy Sundays. So go and check it out because that's also where the parties be happening. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video I do on BookTube. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.